Yeah. Hey, hi. What's your name? I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm Linda Campbell.
Linda?
Nice to meet you.
I'm Rob.
Sorry, it's
Here's what we do these days.
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you. On short notice, I know how busy all of you must be, so,
This was big.
well, very much appreciated, and we'll try to do this as seamlessly and as easy as possible for everyone at home and for you in particular. Everybody at speed? Everybody okay? I'm gonna get this off my face if you guys are okay, so we could hear everyone. Appreciate everyone. I know it was short notice to get this impromptu get-together all coordinated for this afternoon. Extremely rare to have a stranger rape case in our community, anywhere in our community, much less in broad daylight, and that's exactly what our sexual assault unit detectives are investigating that occurred out in our Central Division yesterday. We've had an obligation, a responsibility to get out there today, communicate as much as we can to the community, let them know what we know about the case. More importantly, let them know what they can do to keep themselves safe and what they can do to help us bring some resolution to this case. There's been a tremendous amount of work that's going on right now behind the scenes. I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself. I've got the folks who are going to talk about that work in just a short second, working tirelessly to identify the suspect in this case, bring him into custody before, heaven forbid, he gets the opportunity to victimize another one of our community members. I'd like to start this afternoon by introducing Sergeant Allie Rooks. She's with our sex assault unit. She's going to unpack what we can discuss publicly and some help that we're going to need from the community as well. When she's through, we've got Captain Brad Koch here from our Central Division to talk about what he and his team are doing in the Central Division as far as presence, patrol staffing, resources, and work that's being dedicated to closing this case. So without further delay, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Allie Rooks.
Hi, my name is Sergeant Allie Rooks. I am the sergeant over the sexual assault unit for the police department. I'll echo a little bit of what Rob has already said, but I would like to go over the facts of this case of what occurred on Sunday, August 2nd, around 4 p.m. The 600 block of McNinch Street, which is located in the Central Division. A female in her 20s, midday, took a walk through Frazier Park. She was approached by the suspect who struck up a conversation, general question, and then she continued walking through the park, at which point he brandished a firearm and demanded property from our victim. The victim complied and at that point was forced a short distance where she was sexually assaulted. Our suspect description is going to be a black male, 5'7", thin build, short, kind of unkept hair, 40 to 50 years of age, full beard, and the clothing description is going to be a dirty white grayish t-shirt with dark pants. Like Rob had talked about, this is extremely rare. Obviously, one sexual assault is too many, but in this particular case, this is broad daylight on a Sunday in a public park. We're urging the public that was out yesterday at any point that might have seen something or saw this individual either before or after who has any information to call Crime Stoppers. They are offering up to a $1,000 reward. I could tell you that our sexual assault unit, as well as Central, is doing everything they can. We are reviewing technology, talking with people, and trying to figure out who this person is as quickly as possible.
Could I ask you guys just to hold questions? We'll pull the Sarge back for a second, get Captain Koch in there from Central Division, and then you're more than welcome to ask questions to both the Sergeant and the Captain when the Captain concludes.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brad Koch. I am the captain over the Central Division, and I want the community to know that this is the highest priority for everyone in the Central Division. Identifying this suspect, we are working in collaboration with our sexual assault unit, have spent a lot of time since yesterday out in this area, including our dual sports, motorcycles, our bicycles, talking to our community partners, as well as canvassing that entire area to try to identify the individual responsible for this. So with that, I will turn it over to Rob, or any questions that you may have for either myself or Sergeant Rooks.
makes this so unusual? Is it because it was a stranger, or the area, or a combination of factors?
Sure.
I think all of the above. Obviously, our stranger cases are few and far between. And so this one in particular, with it being a stranger and being a Sunday afternoon and just 4 p.m. in the afternoon, obviously is very concerning.
So was that woman able to call 911 right after it happened, or?
Yes, she was able to make a 911 call where obviously the Central Division responded, and then we were alerted and began working immediately.
Did the incident happen in the park, or was it just on the outside of the park?
So it began in the park. It's right there. So it's a culmination of in the park and outside the park.
Have you had issues in that area, or?
We have not that I'm aware of, and Captain Koch, I think, can attest that, again, there's really no issues in Fraser Parks that we're aware of.
And no reason to believe this is connected to any other sexual assault that you may be investigating?
Not at this time.
Yes.
Which,
Wait, is this a stranger situation?
Yes, sir.
Did it strike you as more of a crime of opportunity, or did he, in terms of the robbery or the sexual assault?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he had a firearm, so anybody who was walking by themselves, I think was, especially this female, was a greater target. So I think this was absolutely a crime of opportunity for her, or for this person against this victim.
You said he was going after personal property. Did he get away with anything?
I don't want to talk about the actual items for the integrity of the case, but personal items of hers were taken from her during the robbery.
What advice do you have for females who want to take a walk in the park?
Sure. I don't want this, obviously, this is a huge red flag for some, but overall, this is a safe area. If you can walk with someone, again, in broad daylight, and just be aware of your surroundings and notify the police if you see anything strange while you're out and about.
Does this profile fit anything at all you guys have seen?
You know, this is preliminary information, and we're having just kind of a generic description, so we're still working through to get photographs or more information. So if we see anything that links this to something else that we're currently working, obviously it's going to be put together and try to find out if they're correlated.
Was the conversation they had, the rapist, was it a long conversation?
No.
It was just like a...
Very brief conversation.
Are there any security cameras in or around the park?
We are working with all of the community, as well as our obvious cameras that we have within the city, and we're reviewing that. As you can tell, it's Central Division. There's a lot to go through, and so we've been diligently working through that.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Appreciate the captain, appreciate the sergeant. Encourage everyone, if at all possible, to push out that Crime Stoppers tip line, 704-334-1600. The sergeant talked about the time of day that this occurred in Fraser Park. You know, pretty densely populated park under normal circumstances, especially that time of the day. We got to think that somebody there saw something that didn't look right, hear something that didn't sound right. 704-334-1600. Don't have to give your name. Don't have to say who you are, where you are. Won't have to testify in court. Up to $1,000 reward for anyone with information that they could pass along that leads to an arrest. All right, guys? Appreciate everyone on such